Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a video that I've wanted to do for quite some time, like a long time, and I don't even know if this is all of the figures that I have, which is quite problematic. But yeah, I'm finally doing my Doctor Who Dalek collection video. Now if you've been a very long time subscriber to the channel, you might already be like, wait, didn't you used to do them way back when? Yeah, I deleted those videos for a variety of reasons, I think, back in the day, and yeah, this is what I currently own in the collection. As I just said earlier, I don't know if this is every Dalek that I have, as when putting some of the Daleks into the toy box that I have, or action figure box thing that I have, they obviously just sit at the bottom of the box, so, and then there's lots of other figures on top, so who knows. I'm just trying to think. No, I am missing one Paradigm figure, I think, here, which is like an orange one, which, funnily enough, is good because I'm planning on probably keeping that one anyway, which is a nice segue into saying that basically these figures, these ones that I'm starting with, these aren't in Dalek order, like way back when. I think I did them in my own little childish brain of like, these are the, sort of standard Daleks, these are the Supreme Daleks, these are the, I tried ranking the Daleks and like ranking them as in like I was a Dalek Emperor or some bullshit, really sad shit like that. But basically, I just have a bunch of Daleks to show you, and as I say, the first lot I'm planning on getting rid of because I don't really want them for a variety of reasons, and that's yeah. I mean, for example, this one is missing an eye stalk, so there is that. The red drone Dalek, I think, is what it's called, the Paradigm one. I think as toys they're okay, but but they're just so dusty and also so chunky as well, like the bottom bit. And that I think they work better, ironically, as toys than as actual Dalek props, but even as a toy, they're just so sort of chunky, which then is a nice segue into the original sort of bronze gold Dalek design, which again is also, when they first sort of started releasing these, really chunky for some reason. This is the Dalek without any panels, so this is the one from like series 3, I think, with Tennant. And then the eye stalk's really gone brown for some reason. And also the gun stick and plunger are really sort of thick and sort of cheap, and that, like at the time I think the line, that one also has no panels on the back. At the time I think the figures were aimed at kids still, or my generation of people who were kids when Tennant was the thing. So and then you've got the white Supreme Dalek, who is missing an eye stalk and has a bit of black scuff on top of the dome and is quite a dusty boy. And well, actually, he's not actually that dusty. His plunger is a bit warped and has no eye stalk, and the headlights are a bit yellowed compared to the drone, which actually has less yellowed ones. The Strategist, I think, is the blue one. Is a really dusty boy. The eye stalk is just really dusty. There is no gun stick. And the plunger, again, is kind of warped a little bit and is very dusty. Seems to be a recurring theme here. The Eternal, I think, is what the yellow one was called for some strange reason. Warped gun stick, really loose. Loose gun stick, even, or just, yeah, quite flimsy gun stick and a warped plunger, very dusty boy, again. And then you move on to some classic ones. This one is from, I think, Revelation, the Colin Baker one. I've just never liked this design. you know, the sort of gold and white design. I've never liked it. Or I've never liked this in particular version. I much prefer the Remembrance of the Daleks one, you know. I don't actually know if this is accurate to the TV show, but if it is, then yeah, I don't like that. The plunger is still like black, and then the headlights are just like these little white ones, and then black or white, then black, and then white black again, sort of thing. Just not a fan of that one. Then you've got the sort of Genesis Dalek one, which I just don't want. I don't know why, I just don't, even though it's in fairly good condition, I guess. One of the few that I'm getting rid of that is, I guess, I suppose. Then you've got a custom Paradigm Dalek thing that I bought off eBay once for some weird reason, which is like really battered and damaged and stuff. It did come with a gun stick, and it did come with like a claw like attachment thing as well. So that's a thing. And then you've got another Genesis Dalek which is missing its eye stalk, has a brown gun stick, but a brown / silver or bronze sort of gun stick, which I think is actually accurate to the episode when one of the characters puts the gun stick into the Dalek ball joint for the first time. It is brown as opposed to silver for some weird reason. I'm not sure why that is. They never really explain it in the episode. And then yeah, as I say, it's just a bit of a sort of meh design, and just one that I don't want anymore. So as I say, all of these ones I'm planning on getting rid of from the collection. So yeah, moving on to some ones that I'm keeping in the collection. And that, but are still on the ground floor because there is nowhere else to put them right now. I have this Planet, or is it Day? I can't remember now, but it's one of the more recent B&M Dalek B&M sets, the Dalek sets. So yeah, and then the other one is the one that its head or dome flies back and opens and that. So there are those two. There's a little 3.75 inch Dalek that's sort of bronze and black, and then black on the dome and stuff. And you might be thinking, why are you keeping this? It's not in scale with everything else and that. I really like it because it's from a Dalek story that I've always really liked, which is like Bad Wolf Parting of the Ways. I think it's like a Dalek Emperor, or an Emperor Guard Dalek, and I'm pretty sure a Dalek like this in the normal 5-inch scale is quite rare. So it's just nice to have a shrunken down version of that. And I also like the idea that if and when I ever found a 5-inch version or a bigger scale version of this figure, or a figure very similar, that I'd have both versions and I could display both versions next to each other. Then you've got, like, I think, an Evil of the Daleks Dalek. Originally I was going to get rid of one of these, which I still might, I might not, I don't know. It's not, I don't know if this is quite controversial, but it's not one of my favourite classic designs. I'm not sure why, it just never has been. You know, I might get rid of one, I'm not sure, but again, I have like 4 of them, I think, so I just like the fact that I have an even amount of them, but again, I'm torn as to whether or not I'll get rid of it. I don't know. I'll get rid of one, I don't know. I'm not sure which 60s Dalek story this one's from, but it has the black pupil in the middle, and I think it's from one of the more recent B&M sets. So this one's quite a rare one, I think, even if it's missing the Dalek or the Exterminator gun, and is one of the chunkier boys, which I don't really like. But the mid section you can remove, and then you've got the Dalek mutant inside. The lighting will let me show you, yeah, with like a little panel and that, you know, from the episode Dalek and that. So because there's another really rare sort of chunky Dalek variant, which is like this one, this exact one, but with like a print, like a hand print, an orange hand print, but the mid section doesn't open up, I don't think. You've got these Victory of the Daleks. I do actually really love the design of these, like the sort of World War II sort of design. It's just a shame that because they went from the big chunky sort of design of the gun and the plunger, that, you know, the thinner gun and plunger were a little bit more easier to snap. and that. So yeah, that's what happened there, which is a bit annoying, but I guess in a weird way it kind of adds a little bit of personality to the Dalek, I guess. And that, so yeah. And then the second one that I've got is the one that came with that Winston Churchill figure. Unfortunately, I don't have the Winston Churchill figure anymore. But this one has like an interesting, unique plunger, which is the tea or the cup. I mean the sort of plate or cup and saucer on the plate. You know, what do you care for some tea? That one, which I was gonna originally maybe put in the get rid pile, but then I remembered my mum saying that this was like her favourite Dalek action figure that I have. So then I was just like, ugh, can't really get rid of it. You know, I just remembered that. Even though it is a very, again, much like some of the other ones, or much like a lot of the Paradigm Daleks, one of the more dusty boys that I've got in the collection. I've also got this Stone Dalek from Pandorica, Pandorica Opens Big Bang, I think it is. Unfortunately, the eye stalk is completely, like, just not where it should be, and just always droops back down now. So yeah, it don't really matter if this one gets dusty, because obviously it's like this ancient pebbled sort of, you know, decrepit ancient thing that's just turned to stone, and in that sense I actually really do like this design. It's a bit of a pain to hold sometimes because it's very sort of obviously pebbly and that, for lack of a better term. But yeah, it looks great. Like, it looks like genuinely like the version that was in the episode, and in that sense, it's smashed it out the park. You know. What else? I've got Davros here, who I've got. This is, I think, my original Davros from like the Journey's End sort of days. You know, like, I was thinking of getting rid of this one because obviously the Witches Familiar one came out. But then and that one's got like a lot more crisper, shinier sort of silvers and that. But then I guess also this one has like I have a bit of a soft spot for this one because it's like original sort of Davros toy and designed for me and my, as I say, generation of kids who grew up with Doctor Who at that time. You've also got the, like, I think this is the Genesis Dalek, or Davros, Genesis of the Daleks Davros. I don't think I have any other classic Davroses, or Davrosi, or I don't know what the plural of Davros is, and that, I think it's that, or it's either that or Resurrection of the Daleks. I can't quite remember. It's either the Genesis one or the one from the Peter Davison story. And that, I mean, if you know which Davros this is, please do feel free to comment in the comment section below. But even so, I'm not 100% sure which Davros it is, but I put it on the Tom Baker shelf anyway, because as I say, as of this recording, this is the only old / classic Davros that I have. So yeah. And then the most recent in chronological order, Dalek in the timeline of Daleks is the Reconnaissance Dalek, the first ones off Skaro to invade Earth. You know, I've got that here. That sits on my Jodie Whittaker shelf, which is obviously quite barren, a bit of a wasteland at the moment. But yeah, I think, again, much like the Paradigm Daleks, as a sort of action figure / collectible toy, whatever you want to call it, it actually works quite well, and I quite like, much like with the sort of Pebble Dash, for lack of a better term, Paradigm Dalek, I like this sort of junkyard, sort of scrapped together, mismatched sort of spheres, sort of junkyard chic look to this Dalek. It makes it very unique on the shelf, and that's yeah. Moving on to the other Daleks that I have here on the windowsill. You've got another Dalek that from Planet of the Daleks, I think, which opens up. You've got a Dalek from Evil of the Daleks, I think, the Dalek Scoop one. You've got another Dalek, 60s Dalek there. You've got Dave the Dalek, Supreme Dalek. You've got another Planet of the Daleks, gunmetal grey Dalek even. Another Dalek with a Dalek scoop. Another blue and silver Dalek. Blue and silver Dalek there. You've got another. You've got the Dalek from Destiny, the Daleks, the Suicide Dalek, the blown up, or the ones that blow themselves up. It would be cool if they ever released, on the history of the Daleks, that if and when they get to Destiny, just release that, but without the bombs this time, maybe. Remembrance of the Dalek, Supreme Dalek. Not my favourite design Dalek, but it's pretty cool for like a one-off sort of design. Another Reconnaissance Dalek, I think. That's what it's called. You've got a gold and bronze Dalek, but this one's quite unique because it's die-cast. Has a very special place in my heart, as it were, because my nan back in the day got me this. The gun and the plunger don't move, but the eye stalk does go all the way up and all the way down, so that's kind of cool. And as I say, it is die-cast, so it is actually quite heavy. You've got this sort of Time War Dalek, I think, or one of the B&M sets, Dr. Dalek packs, a sort of silver and bronze Dalek. I just like to call it a Time War Dalek myself. You've got Davros, but again, from sort of Witch's Familiar pack or 2-pack B&M set, so he's a lot more sort of glossy silver on the spheres and even on the chair, I think. You've got another sort of Time War Dalek or gunmetal grey Dalek, bloody hell. You've got another Dalek from the sort of RTD era, but this time you've got it with the sort of weird crab pincer thing, which was never really used, I don't think. But this one's cool because it's really weathered as well, so it looks a lot more battered, like it's been in a Time War. You've got Dalek Sec, I think, the black Dalek, which again is quite sort of dusty and chunky as well. Not the biggest fan of this design, if I'm being completely honest. You know, as an action figure / toy, I think in the episode it works fine. I'm more just critiquing these or commenting on these purely as the actual action figures and or toys. Not as in the Dalek prop in the episode, but yeah, another sort of chunky bronze Dalek from way back in the day when they sort of first released them. Some more Evil of the Daleks, sort of silver, blue, with some black. Another one of them. We've got Dalek Invasion of Earth, I think is what this one is. You've got the silver and the black. Apparently, I don't know if this is true, but the guy over at the YouTube channel Wingy Media said that originally these were just going to be black, but basically they didn't finish all of the black panels on the bottom, so that's why they were just silver black and then all blue spheres, which is I'm a bit iffy about, because they also have those dishes on the back as well. You've got a Dalek, I want to say that's a Dalek Supreme. I'm not sure why this one's black and then blue, but I prefer it, I think, to just silver and blue and then the black dome. And that this one is a little bit more different. I really like the sort of metallic blue and the darker blue and the darker blue again, and this one. And then you've got the Jungle of Mechanist Daleks, which honestly are two of the coolest sort of classic Doctor Who figures, I think, personally. And that. You've got another Dalek Invasion of Earth sort of Dalek. Big fenders at the bottom of these ones. And like the big blue, or the big baby blue, really makes the darker blue on the spheres and on the dome really pop. And likewise with the headlights as well. The headlights really pop because they're red against the sort of blue. I also don't mind the silver one, the sort of Dalek Invasion of Earth one. Dalek, I think. Is this Dalek? I don't know. I've always considered myself a fan of the Daleks, yeah. I'm only just discovering that I'm really terrible at remembering which Dalek designs are from which episodes. Please do comment below if you are getting infuriated about this and know which ones are which. But yeah, one of those. Another one. Oh no, wait, actually, the headlights are slightly different on these two, which I've only just noticed. And actually the midsection is different as well. You've got one with a flamethrower attachment, which is really cool. Got another one, another sort of silver and blue one. Yeah, you can kind of tell that I like the silver and blue ones, okay. Another silver and blue. Some more silver and blue. And then you've got another silver and blue, but you've got one with another flame. So you've got two flamethrower ones. I can't remember how I got two flamethrower ones. I distinctly remember getting the Enemies of the First Doctor set years ago, but then no idea where I got the second one from. Then you've got the Dalek axis, or squad axis thing, I think. The plunger is really bent on this one, which is a bit annoying, to say the least. I actually don't mind this design. I think it kind of reminds me of if the RTD era Daleks, gold and bronze ones, kind of meshed with the sort of design of Evil of the Daleks. You've got a sort of Resurrection, I think, Peter Davison one, just a sort of grey and then black one. I don't really like this design. I don't know, it's just, this design kind of makes me think that, like, it's quite cheap, you know, like a prop. And just don't look that interesting as a Dalek toy / action figure, I guess. You've got the sort of really cool sort of ones from the 8th Doctor sort of Big Finish Dalek pack they did a bit ago, a few years ago, back in like 2019, I think, later into then. Blue and silver, really cool design. Then you've got another black and silver one. You've got another Dalek Supreme from Day of the Daleks, but this one's really sort of old and battered and not accurate. I don't think this one as much. I think it came in the Dalek triple pack. That's actually quite rare now. Or both those original Dalek packs are really rare. Like, probably go on eBay for like 100, 150 quid, something ridiculous like that. But another Evil of the Dalek. Yeah, sorry, I don't know if I already said this in the video at the beginning, but these are not in chronological order, if you could not already tell. Which does drive my OCD a little bit mad, but it drives me a bit up the wall. But another Dalek Axis Squad Dalek. Plunger's a little bit better on this one. You've got another really chunky, dusty boy. Sort of a Time War Dalek, Russell T Davies RTD Dalek, which I think I might get rid of that one as well, because I'm going to get rid of some of these. But yeah, I think easily got like 50 plus Daleks here, like, I think, could be wrong about that. But then you've got another two Daleks from sort of the 80s. I'm just not a fan of the 80s Daleks. They just look not that good. I don't know why, but... And then you've got one that, although this is from the 80s, I do actually really like this one, the Remembrance of Daleks, Imperial Dalek. I think Russell took a lot of inspiration from the Imperial Dalek, clearly, because it's, you know, sort of gold design and that. I wish they'd... Honestly, if they're retiring, if the rumour is true that they're retiring the Russell T Davies sort of design, it'd be cool if we could see this new, or not new, but this one, but in, like, HD, basically. And then you've got this sort of black Imperial, sort of blue one from, again, I think, Dalek Invasion of Earth, or the Daleks, one of the two, I think. Really love this one, if I'm being completely honest. Sort of Dalek bronze, one of the few that I've got that's one of the newer updated designs, which I do really like, which is the thinner gun, stick and plunger, and just generally looks a lot nicer on a shelf. Dalek Supreme, but again, he's missing a Dalek gun, but I'm not too bothered by that, because again, it just adds a bit of character. Another one of these Daleks, guard, Davros's guards, but with like a weird like claw-like thing instead of a plunger, which again, we never really see happen with them, but again, this one's not weathered though, so there is a slight deviation or difference between the two figures. So Although this one's a chunky, sort of older design, it's actually quite a rare Dalek because it's got the sort of Dalek claw pincer sort of attachment and that, which is only seen in like Bad Wolf Party of the Ways. So, and then you've got another sort of Dalek from the sort of Dark Eye. No, not Dark Eyes. From the Eighth Doctor box set thing, which is like this darker blue one. Whereas the other one was a lot more like sort of lighter blue, almost a purpley bluish colour, or dark blue. But I much prefer this one, if I'm being honest, the sort of darker blue with the silver and this sort of battle worn sort of wash, or like a sort of bronze wash over it. Yeah, really like that. So yeah, I've got a lot of Daleks. I've got a problem. I keep buying Daleks. Dalek shouty boys, as I like to call them. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please do comment, rate, and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, bye.